Hello and welcome, everyone. Lovely to see those of you joining on the Zoom, and welcome to those watching the live stream or the recording. It's been quite a pleasure doing these weekly half an hour Zoom Satsang. I think this is the third one now. So it's a lovely thing to do each week. Yeah. And I feel also for those who join regularly, it can become really part of your regular routine during the week. So thank you to those who sent in some questions or themes that you'd like me to speak about. Obviously, I can't respond to all of them, but I will weave in a few bits and pieces in my talk after the meditation. So we can just get comfortable, whatever that is for you, however that is. Just muting everybody. Yeah. Okay. So if it feels good for you, you can close your eyes or lower your gaze and start by just taking a few deep breaths. Settling here on this seat. Noticing any background sounds where you are. Here I hear the sound of the wind. It's very windy. I don't know if you can hear it. Kind of howling wind sounds. And then we just take a few moments to notice how this body is feeling in this moment. Noticing the sensations, emotions, and also any thoughts that might be here. We just notice what is here. There's nothing to do. Nothing to fix. And if there is some kind of energy that wants to fix, some kind of thoughts that say this is a problem or this means that there's something wrong, we just notice those thoughts. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . knowing that everything that is arising in this moment, in this experience, is held, it's embraced in and as your true nature that knows it all, that sees it all, that welcomes it all. And we can again notice the sensation of sitting here on this seat. Sense of being held by the ground, feeling the contact with the ground, perhaps the feet on the ground. Noticing the breath, just the way it is. And noticing how when we bring attention to the breath, it deepens just by itself, without trying, without any effort. And then when you're ready, we can open our eyes. And if you feel to, perhaps you want to put a few words about how you feel right now in the chat, just to have a sense of who is here and what is here right now. Just a few words. Doesn't even have to be a whole sentence. It can even be one word. And you don't have to, but if it feels good for you. It's always nice for me also to get a sense of what is passing through. Nicole, you wrote a mixed emotional day. Christina, unscribbable. I love that word. Is that what you meant to say? But anyway, it's a great word. Yeah. Marit, lots of thoughts about things I have to arrange despite the meditation. Yeah, sometimes there's a lot on your mind, and that's okay. We don't have to force the mind to be quiet. It's just about noticing what's here. Yeah. Okay. So one theme that someone asked me, sorry, one more person wrote, I think it was Kati, doubt about life. Okay. Yeah, well, that kind of goes together with what I was about to say. Yeah, someone asked me to speak about anxiety and being present with discomfort or pain. And of course, doubt, self-doubt, comes in there as well, because it can be very uncomfortable and can also provoke anxiety. Yeah, so first of all, anxiety is a very restless experience, feeling, sensation in the body. It's usually focused in thought on the future, what will be, what could be, what might be. And along with those thoughts are the uncomfortable sensations that are provoked. And of course, when we focus on the thoughts, then the sensations seem to grow and the thoughts grow and the whole thing starts to snowball. And there's no such thing as being present with that in that moment because we're focused on the future and we're overlooking actually what is happening presently. Also, because if we are present or with our attention on what is happening presently, in other words, with the physical sensations felt in this moment, we would feel discomfort. And so one of the ways that we avoid to feel the discomfort is by thinking about what will be, what could be, what might be. And the anxious thoughts tend to look for solutions, right? They look for ways out of some challenging situation that you might find yourself in. And often it is, or it seems to be, about survival. So it feels very important, not just for the mind, but also for the body. It feels like a matter of life or death, very, very important. And so naturally, then the body responds with a lot of strong sensations and emotions. And so this is also a very natural response to survival situations. But often what we are worrying about is not what is actually happening now. It is about future possibilities. And when we are looking for solutions, the way that we look for solutions in this kind of snowball of anxiety doesn't actually help to find solutions that might actually help the situation, because the thoughts are not very grounded in reality. They are in a kind of panic mode. And so then any solutions that you might come up with will be a bit disconnected from reality and therefore not so helpful. And yet, when we're in the midst of that, the thinking doesn't realize that the solution that it's looking for might not be a helpful solution. It's just trying its best, and it's circling, trying to find a way out of the circle. And any seeming way out or solution is not a permanent solution or way out of this circling. It's actually creating more circling. And the only actual way out is in, not out. In other words, it is in meeting the sensations, feeling the discomfort of the anxiety felt in the body, or the pain. All of this goes for pain as well. It's very similar. Meeting it, feeling it. And when we meet it as it is, without feeding the drama of that thought story, we're not trying to find a solution. We're just being with. We're listening to what is here now in the reality of this present moment. And this kind of listening to what is actually means that you can hear so much more in a way that your mind can never really understand. Because not only do you listen to the felt sensations happening presently, but because there is space that isn't being filled with this running and circling and looking for solutions, there is the space to sense a pathway, a movement, a way forward, perhaps, or not. But there might be that possibility that would offer a genuine solution or way forward or next step that is very much grounded in reality, because you are feeling the sensations without the drama of all the dream and the fearful projections into the future. So whenever, if possible, if you find yourself in the midst of a situation like that where you are circling, trying to find a way out, when you are able, which is not always possible, I understand, but when you are able, bring your attention to your body, to your breath. Or, even if it's just the sensation of sitting on this chair or walking wherever you are, the next step that you take, even if it is bringing your attention to what you see around you. But whatever it is happening presently, it is always a doorway back to reality, a doorway out of those fearful dreams. And then it's possible to feel the actual sensations that have been provoked by either the actual situation that is causing the anxiety or the anxiety itself. And to just feel it and meet it. It can start to slowly, in its own time, come more and more to rest, because it is actually calling out for attention. And when we give it attention, when I say we, I'm talking about who you are, the space for it all. But when that attention that shifts from one thing to the next is in alignment with who you are, so who you are is the space for it all to happen. So from there, you could say, well, then it doesn't matter if I'm just thinking and circling, because that's happening in that space, in that awareness of it all, which is true. And yet, within that, there is the attention. And that attention, when it's in alignment with our true nature, and it's focusing on what is presently appearing, there can be a sense of nourishment or embrace when we simply meet what is here with attention that comes out of our spacious nature. Essentially, this is love. So these uncomfortable, anxious, fearful sensations are met and held in love. Just like a parent would hold a child that would be scared. We just hold the sensations, the little child that is here. We all have our little children. Hold them in love, breathing, feeling. And if thoughts come again, wanting to circle, okay, there's no right or wrong here. It's not about doing it right or being more spiritual. It's not about punishing yourself when you go into that circling thinking mode again. It's just that it's provoking more discomfort and suffering, essentially. So in order to find a way out, it's not by finding a solution in your mind. It is about, again, coming back to what is presently felt now. And we might have to do it again and again and again and again, because it is such a habit for most of us, our whole lives, to be circling in this way and hoping for some kind of permanent solution by circling with our minds and finding this solution with the thinking. We have assumed that any solution will be in the thinking, and we have overlooked that any real solution is only ever here now. And maybe when you bring your attention to what is here now, you might discover that actually there's no need for a solution even. That in fact, just by being present with whatever is here, that this is enough. That maybe there's even no problem. Nothing even to be anxious about, perhaps. So that brings us just about to the end of our time for today. And just before we go, I just want to let you know that I've opened a 3-month online journey starting on the 1st of March on the theme, with the title, Awakening in Life, Grief, Joy, and authentic living. And during the 3 months, we will take each one of those themes, those aspects, and they in fact all weave in together. And we'll go a lot deeper into each one. And yeah, I'm really excited about doing this journey, and I'm looking forward to you joining me if you feel to. And if you're listening to this and you have questions about this journey and you'd like to ask me something about it, if you go on the webpage for this journey, there's the option to schedule a free 15-minute little chat with me, and we can see if it's a good fit for you to join this journey. So yeah, thank you very much for today. Sending you lots of love, and see you next time. Okay, bye everyone. Lots of love.